And welcome back to the Buckle Up Podcast universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm actor Brandon Rush. I've been in 80 TV and film productions, and I launched the Buckle Up Podcast universe with my mom, who is a pharmaceutical sales special, among other great things. She asks many of the great questions. We have done 154 episodes as of today. We are in 104 countries around the world. We are been downloaded in 1,071 cities around the world, and we are on 6 continents. We ask all of our guests to make sure that you download each episode, whether that be on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. All you have to do is not only hit play on the episode, but you can hit the little download button. It looks like a down arrow, and download the episode, which helps support us and helps support our podcast here and our guests that we have come on here. So we would love that. If you would like to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out to me at BRANDONRUSHH on Instagram. And then it's Buckle Up Podcast, BUCKLEUPPODCAST on Instagram. You can write either of those, or you can write on the comment section of our podcast. Anywhere on there, we do receive it and review it. If you'd like to be a guest or a sponsor, feel free to reach out to us, because we do have sponsorships available for different segments during our commercial breaks of our episodes. So with that being said, today we have voiceover actress Devin Alexis, who she brings her creative voice, who blends artistry, storytelling, and performance in a truly unique way. Devin Alexis is Florida-based creative artist, voiceover performer, and vocalist, originally from Brooklyn, New York. We like that. And let's get ready to welcome Devin to the show. You there, Mom?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Don't forget, it's Buckle Up Podcast Universe.
Did I say that?
No, you said Buckle Up Podcast.
Okay.
So they'll know. Otherwise, they'll go to somebody else.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Mm-hmm. Technically, the crazy part, because I filed that trademark, people aren't technically allowed to use Buckle Up Podcast anymore. Well, that's if we really want to push it. Other than us, because it's too close to Buckle Up Podcast Universe, according to the trademark thing I looked up.
Mm-hmm.
But I will make sure that I say Buckle Up Podcast Universe.
Mm-hmm.
What did you? Yeah, she should be here.
Okay, dope.
Almost not yet. You started to make Devin, welcome to us. Starting makeup artistry. Yeah.
That signature question, I'll get into that in the end.
Okay.
Just before lightning rod, if you see that.
The
lightning rod.
Oh, where's that thing? What is that? Where is that button? She sounds, her voice sounds, at least the voice I heard her do, she sounds exactly like the lady that does Bart Simpson.
Oh, wow.
What book is? And they ended up having the lady that did Bart Simpson came on their like little personal thing. You remember how I was telling them how they have special guests?
Yeah.
The lady that, I don't know the actress's name by heart, but I mean, that lady's a multi-millionaire. She's done that voice since 1989.
Yeah, and then she's on another show. She's on a TV sitcom.
Oh, is she really?
The girl who does that voice? The original girl.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think she was in that Twilight Zone movie. Yeah. As an actress, as a young actress. With that kid that kept changing people into different stuff.
Oh, she would be.
The remake was they had
the remake. In the movie,
not the original.
Okay, the remake. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the remake.
I gotta look that up.
Mm-hmm.
I see her.
Do you see her out there?
Yeah, she is here. Okay, so let me make sure. Mm-hmm. Let me make sure I record as a backup. All right, voice memos. Or there. The second thing, let me make sure I hit. Oh, crap. Accidentally. Okay, there we go. That has been recording the whole entire time. All right.
Well, you can always cut that out.
Yes, ma'am. That's right. Start, wait, what is going on here? Start recording? I have no idea if this. Okay, let me double check that this thing. Why does this thing keep saying pause recording, start recording? Hold on a second. I don't know what is going on and if this is recording.
If you do those three little buttons over there at the bottom of Zoom, three buttons, it should tell you if you're hitting record. It said to me you were recording earlier, but
Okay, let me see here. Pause recording, start. Why do you keep start recording with A? Oh, start recording with AI
mm-hmm.
companion. Okay, sorry about that. Podcast. Okay. Mm-mm. Devin, hello, hello.
How's it going?
It's going really well. How are you doing today?
Cool background.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's our podcast, the Buckle Up Podcast.
That's awesome.
My mom came up with the design. So thank you so much. And I just want to take this time to welcome you to the Buckle Up Podcast universe with Brandon Rush and
Mama Rush, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great. So happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Oh,
absolutely. Well, Devin, it's going to be all about you today. And tell me,
Okay,
how does a girl from Brooklyn end up on this amazing journey that you've gone on? And you're welcome to start from the very beginning, from Brooklyn, New York.
sure. So, yeah, my mom is from Brooklyn and my dad is from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. So I grew up going to school like pretty much in Manhattan. So I was
Mhm.
born and raised in New York. Um, my mom wanted me to have a New York education, and so I basically started out in art school from elementary school.
Okay.
I was in Montessori. So, yeah, so I started really early. We had art, we had performing art. And then from there, my middle school was also an artist and writers school. And then I went to art and design high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I actually was studying comics and animation, and that's what I wanted to do
Yeah.
essentially. And then I got into tattooing, and I kind of put performing and everything on the back burner because my mom was like a total stage mom when I was a kid. Like I
Okay.
did, on top of all the schooling, I did acting, dancing, I played instruments,
oh.
like
Oh, wow.
I did 8 years of opera training.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so when I got into art school, that kind of all went to the side, and I was like, I'm going to be a comic book artist.
Okay.
So kind of funny now, like into voiceover, but yeah, so from there, I got into special effects makeup. And I actually wound up moving out to Los Angeles. And I was working in film and television and red carpet stuff, magazines, just basically doing anything I can.
Yeah. I know how that
I
goes.
mean, you know how LA is. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're like, oh, yes, I will take that $50 job,
Yeah.
just to
Mhm.
put gas in my tank. But I wound up working on a lot of cool stuff. I had the opportunity to be on the Kardashian show.
Really?
Um, very briefly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to work with Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn and
Oh, wow.
Mm.
CeeLo
I love it.
Green and Jared Leto, and I mean the list goes on and on.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I was very, very lucky to be a part of all of that. And then in about 2018, I was having some health issues because I'm type 1 diabetic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I actually lost my eyesight
Mm.
due
Oh,
to diabetes and other health issues. So I kind of like went home to mama,
yeah.
so
Mhm.
she could take care of me. And then I wound up meeting my now husband.
Okay.
So during the pandemic and throughout that whole time, we were in Arizona, and then we moved out to Florida, and I was just like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, do I still want to stay in makeup? Do I want to do something else? So I went to esthetician school, back
Mhm.
Okay.
into esthetician school a second time.
Mhm.
Had my own little studio, was still doing makeup, and
Mhm.
then the storms hit here last year.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, so we had to replace a lot of our furniture because we were living in St. Pete Beach, like
Okay.
literally a block from the beach.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the building that I was in with my studio, it it had mold.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna put this to the side for now.
Mhm.
We wound up moving, and I was like, again, what am I gonna do with my life? Like,
Yeah.
do I want to
Mhm.
stay in makeup? I always kind of circle back to the makeup, but my husband was like, why don't you do voiceover?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, you have such a unique voice, and
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've heard that my entire life.
Yeah.
I've always heard that I sound like Bart Simpson.
I was gonna say that if you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
You
I get
do.
that a lot. So,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
my mom had always talked about it, and I was always just like, yeah, 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 yeah. Like, I'm a
Mhm.
makeup artist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, I bought all the equipment, and thankfully, I had somebody guiding me from an agency behind the
Okay.
scenes that just happened to be best friends with my godmother.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so they gave me some really good advice. They really took the time to tell me, like, you need this kind of microphone. You here's a bunch of different workshops and classes and agents
Oh
that you
wow.
should look into.
Mhm.
And, they were just like, get into it. See if you even like it, because you might
Yeah.
not like it. Like right
Mhm.
now, it's kind of just like a dream.
Hmm.
And do it for a couple of years, and we'll like reassess where you're at.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah. So right now, I'm kind of like in the beginning.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't
good.
really like done anything major,
That's
but
okay.
I joined Tara Strong's group, the Voicelings.
Yeah.
Are you a part of them?
How do I explain this the best way? I've been at so they've been amazing. I haven't actually joined up yet. I was doing those voiceover challenges, and I stumbled
Okay.
upon Voicelings, and but they've invited me to come, which I very much am going to do at some point for sure because I've already connected with the entire community. I kind of talk to
I mean,
everybody
it's
anyway.
it's an amazing community.
Yeah.
And you get so many chances to audition for real things, and
Hmm.
they have the Voicelings Legends Live, so I actually got to do like the opening monologue for Nancy Cartwright,
And that's
Mm.
who
for
does Bart's
for
voice.
the Bart Simpson.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was just like amazing exposure. It got 20,000 views
Oh.
on
Holy smokes.
Instagram alone. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so I'm so grateful for them and everything
Yeah.
that they
Well,
do.
sorry, Mommy, but go ahead, Mommy. You about to say something?
You know, I love first so many talents
Yeah.
within one human. I love that. And
Thank
the other
you.
thing I can identify with is, oh, my children can, is I sent them to Montessori school.
Yeah.
And that's how they started out in their educational plight. And I just love, and if parents out there listening,
Yeah.
it's not structured. So it allows children to move at
Hmm.
his or her own pace. And I love that. And I'll never forget my husband said, am I paying that much for them to pour tea? We laughed about it because they were learning so many skills, which I
Yeah.
think it's that structure comes in eventually.
Right.
But right, that's why I encourage people to send their kids to Montessori before the age of 4 and younger. I just think it's just the right answer. But with that said, listening to your voice, I automatically think about that show, The Simpsons. And I can only imagine when you were a kid, the kids come and laugh and wanted to hear you perform and that type thing because they love The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that I was always performing. I mean, like when I was a kid, I had no fear. I would
Mm-hmm.
just be like, I learned this song, you're gonna hear it. And I would just like burst out into song and
Uh-huh.
the adults around me would just be like they would laugh at
Mm-hmm.
me because I was just fearless and
Mm-hmm.
being a kid, I kind of took it like, oh, they're laughing at me. But,
Mm-hmm.
now I understand they were just like, oh my God, like, you know,
She's just so
so cute,
unique.
no fear.
Oh, cute. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Do you have any other siblings or it's just you?
So I have three other siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 20-year-old sister who lives in Los Angeles, and she's actually an aspiring singer.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, very talented. And then I have an 8-year-old sister and a 4-year-old brother.
Holy
What?
smokes. Holy
Yes.
smokes. That's a huge split.
Yes.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
you
my
all got to
dad
be
loved the
babysitters.
ladies.
Yeah, I can understand, right? Do they have I mean your voice is so unique. I literally if I close my eyes, I'm just hearing Bart Simpson speak. I kid you not.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
did you
awesome.
no, seriously, I'm like, you've been first off, you are blessed with several gifts there because as you said, I
Mm-hmm.
think in New York City you started as a young age going to all these performing,
Hmm.
artistry, and obviously you can draw too, I'm assuming, because you're saying that or tattooing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I do a lot of like photorealism and
Mm-hmm.
cartoon stuff. I do
Wow.
like pet portraits for people. So
Mm-hmm.
Were any of your parents in the arts or some type? Because or is this something just you were just naturally born with out of nowhere?
so my dad was well, he became kind of around my age like a music producer.
Oh
He had
wow.
Oh,
always been creative and he
mm-hmm.
sculpted and he was really into the arts, but yeah, he actually had like a DJ name called the Dirty Turk.
Is he
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Turkish?
no, we're not. We're
Okay.
Italian.
Okay. My godfather
So
from Queens is Italian.
yeah, it's just, it's funny, but it worked for him.
Yeah.
And he played Ultra Fest and he was,
Mm-hmm.
all over the place in
Oh
that
wow.
world.
Oh.
So,
Okay. Amazing.
yeah.
So you started makeup artistry. How did that shape your storytelling?
So I actually started face painting when I
Okay.
was like 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
I had my own little like side gig where I would face
Mm-hmm.
paint for kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that like kids are really drawn to me. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but like even in grocery stores, kids will, come up and smile and like
Mm-hmm.
I laugh and then they laugh. So
Yeah.
I noticed like I had that ability. So I
Mm-hmm.
would do like voices and stuff for
Mhm.
the kids, whatever. But again, like never really thought about voiceover.
Yeah.
Um, and with makeup, it's interesting because I started out really being into beauty and pinup and just that whole culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I discovered zombies, I was
Okay.
like, "Oh my God, I have to make zombies."
Yeah.
Like I just that was it. Um
Mm-hmm.
so for me like it's very similar because you're creating this character.
Mhm.
You're getting in your head. And a lot of time when I'm working on a film or a character for a film,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's an entire process. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm breaking down the script. I'm like, okay, they're doing this here. There's going to be this kind of blood. What does that kind of blood splatter look like? What does
Okay.
that kind of wound look like? So I'll do, real research to piece all of that together so that it looks realistic. And
Yeah.
how
Mm-hmm.
does it fit into this character's life?
Mm-hmm.
Voiceover is very similar in that
Yeah.
way where you're creating this whole world You
Mhm.
know, or not even for a character, but even when you're doing like commercial reads, you're like, okay, I'm talking to my best friend about how much I love honey bunches of oats and
Mhm.
how good they are. And, you
Yeah.
know, you're trying to make it sound conversational. So, um, it's a huge correlation
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
between the two.
I mean, God, your voice. Sorry, mom. I just said this one. Like, even hearing your voice, I'm like, dang, I sound like I'm in a Pixar movie right now. Then when you did the commercial, I'm like, you actually sounded like I was listening to a commercial, even though you were just talking. You are blessed with the gift there, and I'm
Thank
glad you're
you.
pursuing it.
But
Thank
I
you.
love that children feel that,
Yeah.
and children can feel spirits of people, and they
Absolutely.
gravitate to you, which is so great. Brandon, they gravitate to us as well.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
just,
Yeah,
in fact, animals just love Brandon to death.
Yeah.
As soon as he goes to his friend's house, the animals leave their
that's,
parents and just
they
go on.
feel
Brandon is
energy.
here now, so Brandon has that spirit with humans as well as animals.
That's
Well,
awesome.
four-legged animals at that. But I heard something you just said, and it was so interesting because I was going to ask, when starting a project, do you
Mhm.
see it? Do you hear it? Or do you feel it at first?
Are you talking about like voiceover? Like,
Voiceover or any project, if you have to do for a commercial or whatever, you
yeah,
said you read what it is and you try to get into the character or what's going to
yeah.
happen. I wanted to make sure I'm clear on that.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of the time they're giving a very brief description of the character.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, you know, you're trying your best to create what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I look at the description and then I look at what I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time with auditions, like you're not getting a full script. At least I haven't so far. So you're just getting like a brief synopsis of a moment. So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of are like, okay, well, if this is happening, what put them in that headspace, or what could have put them in that headspace, or what
Mm-hmm.
headspace are they in, or
Okay.
you know, okay, the description said, um, they're a little feisty.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I incorporate that into what I'm reading?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I like get into it, and then I'm like,
Okay.
okay, like even if I don't have a descript like a picture of the
Yeah.
character, I try to
Mm-hmm.
think of like, okay, well, if they're a little feisty and sassy, but they're also kind of sad, like
Mm-hmm.
what might that person look like? Would they have a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of a lisp?
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, would they be a little bit more nasal? Like if
Mm-hmm.
it's a teenage girl compared to, you know, an older woman from the
Mm-hmm.
South.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I really try to get into all of that and create like an entire kind of world around that character so I can
Oh,
like
okay.
feel their vibration.
Uh-huh.
I
Oh,
like how you do that. I never. I like how you do that. I never because I just I'm like that's actually really creative. I haven't really worked in the voiceover side of things, so it's interesting to hear how you break that down.
but Brandon, you know, what's so unique and what Devin is saying, and I want to make sure it's Devin. I'm saying
Yes.
Devin's name's correct, her name correctly. Brandon, when you do those self tapes, and you know how they give you just a script that you're supposed to stick with, and
Yes,
then
ma'am.
you start to say, I think this script would read better if you,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of tweak it. You present
Yes.
it the way they want. I've seen you do it,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you tweak it because you feel something different with the script.
Yes,
And
Yeah.
so
ma'am.
you do that in a way. This is
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
yeah,
I guess you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, technically, you're right because it's just words on a piece of paper. I was just. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess just my process of breaking it down because where instead of me thinking about what the creator is, because in obviously voiceover it's different, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit different. With me, I know that whatever they have on the piece of paper, I'm that character. Like I'm bringing myself to it, but
Yeah.
it's just whatever my background story happens to be. Actually, I don't really do a background story. I just put myself in that situation personally.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I was saying a little bit different, mom, from the voiceover part was because she
Mm-hmm.
was saying that how okay is a person a bit nasally. I never really thought about accents and stuff. I just New York. Sometimes I'll put on a New York one,
Mm-hmm.
but for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, I kind of keep my things neutral.
Oh,
I have the
okay.
vibe of the character. We'll just put it that
Oh,
way.
okay. Okay.
So
But
with voiceover
yeah.
too, like they encourage you do three different reads
Okay.
when you
Mm.
do the character.
Mhm.
That's typically like what an agent will ask for um, when they submit. So like we usually start out doing like what we think would be best for the character.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then it's like you want to give like two different reads compared to that. So that's where you can kind of get a little bit more creative.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I can do the deeper voice on this one, but
Mhm.
maybe they're, like I said, a little bit more sassy. So I can,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
sprinkle that in on the second read. So that's where it's a little bit different than on screen acting because we
Yeah.
get to show a little bit more variety because
Yeah.
this is
Mhm.
our only chance. We
Yeah.
don't get to really see who's on the other side. We don't, it's not like when you used to go into a studio and audition.
Mhm.
Um, you know, they could give you feedback, but now
Yeah.
it's just you in front of your computer screen looking at yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm assuming this is what they want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Do you feel more with that everything being self-taped now, do you feel more
Mm.
freedom doing that, or do you feel more all right, do you feel more freedom, or do you prefer going into the room per se and having them tell you kind of?
You know, I've always kind of worked better where I have the freedom.
Yeah, I like that one too.
But it's interesting because hearing other people talk about it, like other voiceover artists, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
like now doing it so much. I mean, I'm auditioning like 3 to 4 days out of the week.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Um,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I'm just, you know, I'm trying to build up my repertoire and
Yeah.
auditioning, but it's interesting because you almost kind of like want some direction sometimes
Okay.
because
Mhm.
you're like, okay, I've done this now like 5 times.
Yeah.
Do, is is this what they want? Does it sound
Mhm.
good?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you kind of start to get in your head a little bit like,
Mhm.
am I doing that? Do I suck?
Yeah.
You
No.
know, so
Yeah.
like a little bit of direction would be cool, but
Uh-huh.
that's
Mhm.
just the nature of the game now.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The only thing I'm going to add to that is for me personally, I did it in person, and I it was great when I was doing the in person. The only reason I love self tapes is because I would never be able to take the swings that I take, and
Right,
the way I do the way I audition, I never would have been able to audition that way if I was in the room because I wouldn't be allowed to.
right.
So that's what I do love about it because I'm able to, and I think that has been a defining factor of me booking self tape so much.
Yep.
Is I probably have one of the highest self tape pin rates and booking rates,
That's awesome.
but it's because I'm able to do it. I'm able to get away with what I wouldn't be allowed to do in the room.
Right.
It'd be
And
fun.
Mhm.
that's, you know, it's similar with voiceover like I said cuz you usually do a couple of takes so you can
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
take those risks, you know, and
Mhm.
put your best foot forward, but Tara
Mhm.
Strong always tells a story um on Teen Titans. She was
Okay.
auditioning for another role. She wasn't originally Raven or
Oh
auditioning for
wow.
Raven.
Mhm.
And what happened was she just had this feeling of like, let me try one more thing. And she asked them, like, can I just give this a try?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because a lot of her characters were in the same vein, like Batgirl, you know, and they had that kind of like same style.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
she was like, you know what? Like, she walked out and then walked back in and was like, I need to try this. And
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
let her because she's Tara Strong, you know,
Yeah.
they're not going to say no. And she just tried that like vocal fry, that like
Mm.
la 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 kind of thing, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's it." And she did
Yeah.
it.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, that's where I'm kind of like I think about that and it was an in person
Yeah.
Mhm.
kind of thing. So like we don't get those second chances,
Hmm.
but like you said, we do get to take risks.
Yeah.
And you just
Exactly.
hope that they
That
like one of the weird
absolutely.
chances you
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah. No.
And,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
and
So
that's really, oh, go ahead, Brandon.
no, no, you're
Go ahead.
fine.
Okay. Because I wanted to ask you, with what you both are discussing here and I'm listening to, how do you stay true to your creative instincts in a trend driven world?
Mm, that's a really good question. Um, I've always been kind of a rebel.
We like that. We like that. At least
Yeah,
I do.
like I've always just kind of gone my own way. If
Yeah.
somebody's going left, I'm like, maybe I'll go down the middle, you know? Um, that's interesting.
Mhm.
It's a good question.
Okay.
I feel like I have always known who I am. I mean, even from the time I was a kid, like I just like I said, I always just followed my own path. So when I go into something, I'm
Mhm.
not I'm not changing who I am.
Mhm.
You know, I might be changing my voice, but um for the most part, for most of the things that I audition for, I'm actually
Mhm.
not changing my voice.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Mhm.
Um and that was also something that I was recommended um by a producer from Nickelodeon that I know from the makeup world. You know, I went to him and I was like, what do I do? Like, do I
Mhm.
do impressions? How do I change my voice so much? And he was like, just do you.
Mhm.
And I've kind of just stuck with that
Mhm.
um, so far.
Hey, don't change it up. Keep being you.
Yeah.
I think that's what's working for you. And I love it. The fact that you walk your own path and you're not doing what people that if 9 out of 10 people, I've said this before, but if 9 out of 10 people do it one way, you're going to be that 10th person, just like I'm that 10th person that's going to do it opposite.
Yep.
Mhm.
And hey, you know what? Because you trust yourself, you have that confidence to do it.
Yep.
Play, not maybe not play so safe.
Yeah. And I just started a true crime
Yeah,
show.
yeah, that's what we were going to talk. Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
next question. But yeah,
We
tell
want,
us about that.
yeah, you
um,
created what, Velvet Crime? Is that what we're
yeah,
gonna talk? Yeah.
yeah, the Velvet Crime series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell
So,
us about it.
you know, true crime is something I always watched with my dad growing
Okay.
up. He was like just a true crime buff. Um, and he passed away in 2020 of
Oh,
COVID.
Mhm.
I
But
lost my dad then too. I'm sorry about that.
yeah, I'm sorry too.
Mhm.
But you know, those shows have always been like a kind of comfort for me. You know, it's murder,
Yeah.
but you know, they just remind me of spending that time with my dad and like
Mhm.
it's just the psychology behind why people do things is
Mhm.
really what interests me more than like ooh serial killer murder. Like I know it's kind of trendy now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and I always say to my husband like ooh I would be really good at interviewing these killers.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Mhm.
I could like make them feel comfortable and
Oh
open
wow.
up and talk, and he's always like you could definitely do that. Like you're
Yeah.
such a
Mhm.
good forensic psychologist. But
Mhm.
that's like why I watch the shows because
Mhm.
they just interest me like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I felt like this would be a good opportunity for me to merge a couple of things that I love.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to go the route of like doing my makeup on camera while talking about it because that's been done so much.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to still be like creative with it.
Mhm.
So I write all of my own scripts. I
Oh
don't
wow.
Oh,
like
okay.
use any form of AI for that. I wanted it to feel like kind of velvety and like noir and
Mhm.
you know, a lot of people say like your voice is a little seductive. So I kind of just like go with that when I'm doing the true crime stuff and it's so
Mhm.
fascinating because like I I'm looking for cases all the time now.
Okay.
So a lot of my time is spent like on YouTube or reading online about different cases. So it's kind of kept me interested.
Oh,
Mm. Mm.
yeah. I
um,
love that.
yeah, so that's why I started it because it's just like, the voiceover aspect, the true crime aspect. Like I feel like it's just me and it's a way that I can like share myself and share
Mhm.
what I'm interested in.
Wow.
Okay.
That was a
That's
very roundabout way of
oh
saying
no no
it,
no.
but
No,
It's
no, this is
and
this is.
it's called Velvet Crime.
the velvet
Mhm.
crime.
And so
Mhm.
you base and so I'm gonna make sure I asked it. You might have just said it, but I'm gonna make sure I ask it correctly. So basically, you find different cases that are out
Hmm.
there, and then you retell the story of how it happened.
Hmm.
Oh, awesome! And that's
Yeah.
on like a podcast station. Is that on Instagram? Where can people find
So
it?
right now I'm on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to be moving over to like a podcast version soon. It's just I'm so new to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
before I got into voiceover, I was just like pretty basic with the phone, and so now I'm like editing videos and
Yeah.
like learning how
Mhm.
to do all this stuff. So I'm telling everybody like just go slow with me. I'll get into the podcast area
Mhm.
soon. But right
Yeah.
now it's kind of like a social media show.
Okay.
Mhm.
What is it? Where can they find it? I just want you to make sure you say the name of where people can find all of these
Yeah,
things.
so it's YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Is there a name? And it's called just Velvet Crime.
It's called the Velvet Crime series.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for. The handle is what I
Yeah.
meant to say.
Yes.
Oh,
That's all. Um,
yeah. With that, how do you emotionally prepare to step into those stories?
So by the time I get down to writing the script,
Mhm.
and I've done so much research and I've collected all of the information. So
Mhm.
once I get down to that area, I'm like in organization mode,
Mhm.
And then I step into like the actor mode of, oh, okay, like it'll sound better if I go kind of like slow and low here. And then
Mhm.
I can kind of like bring it back up here. So, I kind of actually detach emotionally
Oh, okay.
because I'm like thinking about the beats,
mhm.
Mhm.
of what I'm doing. And I mean, hopefully the delivery is what I want it to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. I see. I see what you're saying. Um,
Yeah.
so, so in that process, what do you want listeners to take away after experiencing your work?
So, um, a lot of the time, I feel like it's bringing awareness to
Mhm.
people about these cases.
Mhm.
Um, like especially with women, like we're targeted more than anything.
Mhm.
So for me, it's like, okay, let's be careful what we're doing out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And and a
Mhm.
lot of these victims, like their voices aren't really heard, because I try to
Mhm.
look for cases that aren't like flashing on the news every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I try to dig a little deeper. So that's pretty much that's another reason why I started
Mhm.
it.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. I love that. And
How does go ahead, Mom? You're about
no,
to say
you. Well, what I want to say is, I like crime shows myself.
Yeah.
It's something interesting, and I'm a scientist. It's something interesting because I always said, and this is when I would do testing in the lab and genetic testing. I said once they got to the point, and I knew I was on the cutting edge of something working for the DuPont company, that I said once they could take that DNA and
Hmm.
identify, it would be all over pretty much
Yep.
for what really happened in those situations. So I look at these investigators and I look at the methodical way that
Hmm.
they move, and that's what gets my attention most. How they start to put the pieces I'll call it, of the puzzle together. And I started watching. I said, "Oh, this is so interesting." What happened? But then I'm always surprised at how humans can do so many things that are can be so deep and evil. That is like
Yep.
something. I shouldn't be surprised because the Lord spoke about what the devil is capable of doing.
That's true.
But it always gets me, and that's why I guess I'm attracted to those shows. And knowing now that you have the voice for Velvet Crime and you put together a lot of stories, I'm going to really look at that. I'm going to listen to that. And on Spotify, you'd be great too. Spotify with speaking about your
Yeah.
stories. Yeah, Brad, go ahead.
That's the
I just
next
had to
step.
get into that.
What's that? Oh, I said that's the next step.
That's the next step.
Mhm,
Yeah, it's a lot. You'll get there, and it's a lot easier than.
mhm,
It's not the set out the podcast part isn't that hard. If you need any questions
Yeah.
or anything, you're welcome to write me, and I'll tell you everything that is. It's
Thank
really
you.
no problem at
mhm.
all. How has psychology shaped your view of people? Seeing how you do these stories that you go to sleep that night and don't lose a wink of sleep, I guess. But so
I'm
how is
serious,
psychology kind of?
Brandon.
Yeah, I was joking. I was joking. I was doing it for laughs in that reaction. How has like psychology shaped? Honestly, I watch scary movies.
Mhm.
I don't lose a wink of sleep.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing. So you're good. I'm in the same boat as you too.
Mhm,
So I feel like there's a few things that have kind of helped me, and growing up in New York was
Oh
one of
yeah.
them. Because when you're 10 years old traveling on the train with a group of kids or by yourself, you have to be very aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Like you grow up really fast. And I feel like this is kind of funny, like being type 1 diabetic. I also had to grow up really fast from that.
Mhm.
And I always had to be aware of like who's around me, the adults in the room, who can help me if my blood sugar goes low, like
mhm,
who will really understand if there's something happening with me.
Yeah.
mhm,
Um so I feel like I've always had more of an awareness of
mhm,
people because of
Uh-huh.
those things. You
mhm,
know, like I sense shifts in tone like very quickly.
Hmm.
And I think that's also what drew me into like the psychology of these cases is like, there's so much deception.
mhm,
People living like the double life.
mhm,
Or like why somebody really like breaks
Hmm.
and
mhm,
does something. Yeah, I feel like just being like hyper aware from a
mhm.
young age, just
Uh-huh.
that drew me into like why do people do these things?
Mhm,
Okay.
Yeah.
mhm.
Um, Mom, I don't want to change up too much, but something she said earlier got me wanting to touch on something. That's okay, unless she has
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
So look, I'm not trying to make you cry at all, Devin. I just want to preface this or preface this
Okay.
with that.
Mhm,
But having lost my father myself, and I remember before he died, he said, "Make sure people remember me." And
Mm,
one of the things I've dedicated my life to making sure people remember him, especially with this
yeah.
podcast. Would you do me a favor and tell us about your dad and what you want
Yeah.
us to remember about your dad and what he meant to you? I think would be great.
Sure. So my dad was somebody everybody loved.
mhm,
He was magnetic,
mhm,
and he was super good looking, and like everybody just loved him. The way he told stories,
mhm,
he would just have you belly laughing. Like he was everybody's friend.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he fought his own demons,
mhm,
and like um and sometimes there would be distance between us,
Mhm.
um but he would always come back around and be like, you're just like me.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know, like there's no escaping it. Like
Yeah.
you have that presence. And like it was just kind of like an unspoken thing. And um
Mhm.
he had gotten into the film union. He was doing all of like the electrical engineering
Oh
for
wow.
shows like Shameless and
Okay.
Empire and
Yeah.
Gotham. And I mean, he
Mhm.
worked on like so many things. And he was actually trying to get me into the union in Chicago.
Oh,
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah, so, but that's actually when I lost my eyesight from
Okay.
Mhm.
diabetes.
Mhm.
So I had to kind of step back from that for a while. But I feel like everything he did was to better us,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, and whether that meant financially or just like as people.
Mhm.
Amen.
Because
Mhm.
everything that I'm into, like culturally, like just the the music knowledge and the
Mhm.
pop culture stuff and just like I think that awareness of people probably came from him too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, that was my dad. He was like super duper magnetic.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I was
Yeah.
when you were going to say you guys were distant from time to time, I was like, I bet it's because he realizes that she's exactly like him. And and then you went and said it. I'm like, thank you, mind, for having that mind. That like
Well, and
it's
you know, my family calls me the truth.
okay. I like.
So if you want to hear about yourself, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
That's the
You know,
right
and I
answer.
think like when you're close to somebody and they're the same way, like
Yeah.
you clash,
Yeah.
you know, and it's good to have some breathing room.
Absolutely. I like the truth. I like that. Well, that means that you were,
Yeah.
first off, you're a New Yorker, so that goes without being said.
And I'm
Uh,
Italian.
yeah, and Italian on top of that. So you're definitely going to get the truth, but you're going to just get a
Yeah.
double dose. But you'll feed us afterwards, which is good.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think there's a saying too, and I just don't really know who said it, but it says, to oneself be true.
Mm.
And so I guess it, I've heard that. I just don't know. I can't give credit to the person who says it. It's somewhere, somebody might have been Shakespeare. Someone out there said it, to oneself be true. And I guess you can fool yourself on a lot of things, but when you look in the
Mhm.
mirror and you can try to fool a lot of people in the
Mhm.
world to think you're true. And it's shame you're just putting a mask on yourself. Look at yourself, to oneself be true. And I'm gonna look it up after we get off the show today. But and I like real people. I like to be in the presence of real people. I don't like people to put on for me.
Mhm.
Brand the same way. I love down to earth people because you're being authentic that we mentioned earlier. You mentioned earlier today, Devin, and that's so important in who
Well,
you
and
are. So to
my
oneself
husband
be
will
true.
tell you like
Mm-hmm.
I go to the grocery store and
Uh,
people just start talking to me.
mm-hmm.
They'll, you know, they're in the cereal aisle and like they're just telling me their life story. So sometimes when we go out together, he's like, "Don't talk to anybody."
Oh
Like
wow.
they're gonna
Yeah.
keep you there for 30 minutes
Yeah.
But you have a
if you
compassionate
say
heart.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's because it's interesting. That goes back to what you're saying, like you and your father being so much alike. Because you said your
Yeah,
father was magnetic, and just like you happen to be magnetic, because you said kids always like you, and then now we're finding out
yeah,
that everyone in the grocery store, you have that Not
yep,
everybody has that. It's a blessing to
mhm.
have, but it can also keep you held up on like, hey, babe, we got to go.
yeah,
We can't talk to every. You can't save everyone today.
exactly.
Um,
Yep.
what
So
is the
what?
biggest lesson you've learned from your
Yeah,
journey?
that's little. Mm-hmm.
Biggest lesson.
From your creative journey.
Mm. Um, you can only meet yourself where you're at.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to really look at your habits
Mhm.
and think to yourself like, is this what I need right now? Is this is this making me better?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just have to do the things that you don't want to do, but will get you to the next step. Like, I
Absolutely.
don't want to send out marketing emails all morning.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't. But I know that it might get me in front of the right person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, really just focusing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, and then what advice would you give to someone trying to merge multiple talents into one path?
Go to law school.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
And my brother's an attorney, so I guess,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And you're a
uh,
scientist. I want to hear more about you.
uh, it's that's something. Mom, did you have that one question to ask, a deep question,
Well,
or
I think Devin actually got into it because
okay?
Devin, I just was thinking about when I was listening to you talk about the crime shows and all
Hmm.
of that. And as you, and I wanted to ask you something a little deeper about your work when you're
Sure.
giving voice to true crime stories, real people, real trauma. And I
Hmm.
think you touched on it already. How does that affect you personally? I think Brandon asked a part of this. Do you carry any of that with you after stepping away from the mic, or have you found a way to separate yourself from it? And I think you've already addressed it, but I want to make sure that our listeners all over the world
Sure.
hear exactly how you step away.
Well, there are definitely cases that will keep me up at night.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll kind of not relive it, but like, you know, somebody from the case will end up in my dream.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a very like visual
Mm-hmm.
person, and I'm a very
Mhm.
visual learner.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at a lot of pictures and like a lot of video footage. Like, I watched all of Jeffrey Dahmer's
Oh god.
jail interviews.
Ooh.
It was like 20 hours of him just talking
Mm.
about why he did the things
Mm.
he did.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, things definitely stick with me, but I think that that helps my performance in the end.
Mhm.
Because I'm a little bit more. I mean, I did say like I separate. I feel like I separate myself emotionally when I'm like, okay, here's your next beat.
Yeah.
But I know that it's there. Like, the whole reason I started this is because I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I it probably does come through in my read. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there are definitely like certain cases and whatnot
Mm-hmm.
that, I'll go to my husband and I'll be like, I'm still thinking
Mm-hmm.
about that case.
Mm-hmm.
Because he watches a lot of it with me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and
Wow.
he's like, yeah, me too. Like, that one was bad.
Yeah.
So, especially bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That is too funny. Well, look, Devin, I'm gonna take it to the lightning round. What's your quick? Mom, did you have anything else?
No, no, that's great. Go ahead.
Okay, and then Devin, if there's anything you're gonna say about your mom, because I don't want to get you in trouble, you're welcome to as well. I figured now would
yeah,
probably be the best time to talk about your mom before I get to the lightning round.
yeah. My
Anything?
mom is, she's a beautiful Brooklyn Italian girl, and
Okay.
she's super creative too. She's
Oh,
always been into like interior design.
oh wow.
She used to work at the New York Design Center
Oh
Mm,
wow.
when I was a kid, and
yeah.
she's very talented. She like repurposes furniture. Right now, she has a Poshmark channel, and she's like
What?
selling designer bags. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's always had this like hustle about
Yeah.
her, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's what has really inspired me
Mhm.
to
Mm-hmm.
be like that too. But she actually wanted to go to performing arts school, and she
Mm-hmm.
sings, and she's a great singer.
Oh
So I
wow.
think just like the mix of both of my parents, um,
Yes.
I just grew
Genetic
up
strong.
around a lot of creativity, and they
Mm-hmm.
really pushed that within me at a young
Hmm.
age. So
And
I
Okay.
we
was
can
lucky.
see it
Yeah,
of
we
both
definitely can.
sides. Genetics strong.
Definitely can.
Mhm.
Mama Devin, I just wanted to say that your boy's got a good head on his shoulder because we make sure we did not leave you out of this.
Right?
Yeah, I
He's
did.
gonna love that.
Yeah, I did not. I had to make sure. I had to make sure. That's
I
through
love
trial and
it.
error because I realized with some other people I had to go back and fix it. So we're gonna take it into the lightning round. So Melissa, sorry, Melissa. Oh wow, Devin. I don't know why I said Melissa. I don't even know Melissa.
Well, I
Um,
think we
What?
dealt with Melissa the other day.
okay,
Melissa
yeah.
Marin?
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Uh, do I know? Oh yeah, yeah. I had Melissa on it before. She's great
Okay.
too.
That's
Oh
right.
my
Yeah.
God. Love her.
Okay.
Yeah. Devin, these are all about you. Sorry, I was struggling there for a second. And is
You're
Devin
totally
Alexis
fine.
correct? That's your
Yeah.
whole name, Devin Alexis.
Yeah, that's
All right. Well, Devin
my
Alexis,
stage
good.
name.
We like it. It sounds good. It's hey, it works. Uh, Brooklyn or LA? I think I know the answer to this.
You're gonna be
Maybe I don't.
surprised. I
I
love
guess I am
LA.
surprised. Yeah.
LA.
He
Really?
picked
Yeah, I
LA.
love me some Los Angeles.
Okay, I was wrong.
I know. I know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But nothing wrong with LA, you know. Voice or visual? Actually, here's another one: LA or San Diego?
Oh, LA.
Okay, I love
Yeah.
San.
To me, LA is home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have left if it hadn't been for my health
Yeah.
all those years ago. And like, yeah, now it's changing. The industry has changed there, but like, I was there last summer and I was just like, I called my husband. I was like, we gotta move back here.
Yeah.
We gotta find a way.
Yeah. All right. Voice. Everybody from New York is gonna forgive you on that one, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Hopefully.
yeah. Voice or visual storytelling?
Voice.
Okay. This one isn't on here, but I'm gonna ask if you could do anything between either Disney or movies, cartoons, or video games, which one would it be? That's not on here, but I'm gonna ask that question because I remember it.
I mean, Disney, hands down. But
Okay.
I have to be a Disney princess
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
some point.
You'll get there. You'll get there. I believe it. I'm saying it now. You heard it here first. I
Thank
believe you
you.
will. Coffee or tea?
I love me some coffee, but I can't drink it anymore, so I'm gonna go with tea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Morning or night for creativity?
night.
All right.
Yeah.
One word for your process.
Non-linear.
Okay. I don't know why I like that. No laughing. I don't know. It's just funny to me. Favorite genre outside of true crime?
Um, hmm. Is wrestling a genre?
Yeah, I like WWE.
Okay, yeah, wrestling for sure.
Okay, absolutely. So see your sound that is a sound that inspires you.
Um, hmm. I listen to a lot of like this is gonna be so random.
It's okay.
Like Scottish bagpipes.
Okay.
For some reason that like calms my nervous system.
Hey, I'm all for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I can see that for
Scottish
myself
bagpipes.
too. Uh-huh.
Absolutely. A color of your brand.
A color of my well, for the Velvet Crime series, I went with burgundy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something surprising about you.
I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Okay. Hey, I
That would
love wrestling.
probably be. We actually got engaged on a wrestling cruise.
Oh,
I didn't know they gave cruises with
I didn't know they had
wrestlers.
wrestling cruises either. That's what I'm laughing about. That's awesome. Did you give someone the stunner or something or what? Legacy or impact?
Impact.
Okay. Two things here. What if you can go back and tell yourself, 18-year-old self, anything, what would it be?
Trust yourself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then I didn't know if there was any voices you can do other than the one that you have, which is I think is perfect. But if there's anything you wanted to practice on here or try out, you're more than welcome to show us if you want to demo anything. But if not, no worries.
So, I do this voice with my dogs all the
Okay.
time, and they love it. It's just like a high pitched, like, Treato! Go find the Treatos!
We'll take it.
And they go crazy over this voice.
Yeah. Awesome. And then could you give us a taste of the velvet voice, please?
Sure. Here, let me read something.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to pull up my notes.
Oh, you're fine. These came up to me last minute. I was like, hey, we got to make sure to hit these.
That's right, Brian.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'll give you a little snippet.
Okay.
Everyone says this case was solved, but when you actually sit with the details, it doesn't feel solved. It feels explained. And those aren't always the same thing.
Alexis, I don't know.
We want to hear more. Look at we both got into it.
God has blessed you with this voice that you just have it. You know what they talk about that it
Thank
thing?
you.
Whatever it is, you got it.
Thank you.
So, and then with that being said, Devin, you have been absolutely delightful. I'm gonna have Mom carry out the words, but I am so glad that you were down to come on the show. I have enjoyed
for
everything.
having me.
Of course, anytime. I've enjoyed your story, and getting to know about you. You're really funny too, by the way. I don't know if you're trying to be, but you are.
Oh, just beautiful.
And then I'll let Mom take it away from here.
Well, Devin, this has been such a beautiful and thoughtful conversation. We truly appreciate you sharing your journey. At Buckle Up Podcast Universe, we believe this is more than just a conversation. It's an experience. And today you've given our audience something that they can feel and carry with them. So one thing we always say at the end of the Buckle Up Podcast Universe show, stay ready, stay aware, and always buckle up. Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you
Devin.
so much for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. You're always welcome back. You've been wonderful. If there's any handles that you need anybody to find or anything like that, feel free to either say it right now or send it to me. They're either or.
Okay. Yeah. So the Velvet Crime series, that's gonna be on Instagram and YouTube. And then TikTok is gonna be Devin Dollface, and that's also my personal Instagram handle.
Okay, perfect. And then Devin, just send me a photo for your podcast station. And you have been absolutely delightful. I can give everyone a round of.
Before we clap, I want to say
Mom.
something. Before we clap, Devin, don't forget to tell your friends and family to download your episode. It's just so beautiful. And with us being on 6 continents now, and we have how many, Brandon?
104 countries and 1,071 cities worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. We just want to make sure that they hear you. We want our audience to hear you, your family, your friends to hear you. And best of luck on all of this. You don't need luck. You already have it. God's grace follows you. Okay. All right. Let's clap, baby.
Well, Devin, here's a round of applause for you. You've been wonderful.
You guys.
You're welcome. I will say that there's probably going to be some random talking at the beginning of your episode because I didn't know if it was recording or not. So you're going to hear me fumbling about. So that's just it. Good. Yeah, just give you a heads up. All right. We'll talk to you later, Devin. Have a great day.
Bye. Brandon, bye-bye. Brandon, wasn't that such a strong conversation?
Yes, ma'am. It really was.
I just really loved how she explained the emotional side of her work. She's very thoughtful too. And you can hear it in how she processes things. That really made me feel so optic. I mean, she's just beautiful, beautiful all the way around.
Absolutely.
It really is. Okie dokie.
This thing was acting weird.
Was it?